That's it, the last ball before tea, leaving the home team 203 runs ahead.
Right, let's have it off a bit now, Harry.
Now return you to the studio.
I said it. I told you 1971 was going to be marvellous. Now, anybody want to wager against them? I'll give 5 to 1.
If you lose, what will you pay him with?
Why, hello, Hayden.
Pay him with the money the cops gave you, is that right, Fitch?
I'm not sure what you mean.
No! Hayden! I've been looking forward to this little talk, Fitch. So you don't know what I mean, eh? I think you do.
No, honestly.
You know. You're the information king, Fitch. But this time you made a big mistake when you grasped on my boys. My operation. That's why I'm going to deal with you personally. You're out of line, Hayden.
All right, everyone. Now relax, relax. Nothing to worry about. Hayden, I don't care what goes between you and Fitch, but not here.
You keep out of this, Harry.
You're in my pub, in my area.
Your area? Only by the grace of God and Bill Hayden. London belongs to me, Harry. I just tolerate small-timers like you because you don't amount to anything. It's rain check time. But I'll be seeing you again, Fitch.
Come back here!
Hayden, Harry will soon settle in.
I know, Freddie, I know. Come on, let's have a look at that hand.
Yeah, all right, careful. Harry, what's wrong?
We've got to fix him, Freddie. We've got to fix Hayden.
Yeah.
Fitch called in. Scared. Thinks Bill Hayden might be after him. Fitch lives in your area, so keep an eye on him. Any questions, Parker?
No, Sergeant.
Doyle, any questions?
No, Sarge.
Oh, another thing Fitch mentioned. Hayden and Harry Scott had a run-in, so there might be trouble brewing there, too. Otherwise, have a nice, quiet, pleasant night.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you.
Hey, Sid. You know about that new department being formed, CI5?
What's that?
Oh, Criminal Intelligence 5, something. Sounds exciting. Different.
You're still young enough, Ray. You ought to apply.
Oh, you don't apply, they find you.
Right then, it's a deal.
What?
If we run into an international gang of jewel thieves tonight, you can pull them in.
Yeah.
Do you some good.
Mm. Hold it, pull it.
What? What is it?
Look at that. Harley Davidson. Great bike. I'm gonna have one of those one day.
Get your priorities right. First, you catch the international jewel thieves, okay?
Okay. It's hot.
Damned hot. But otherwise, everything the sergeant promised us. Nice, quiet.
What's up?
That's Hayden's car.
That's where Fitch lives, isn't it?
Worth a look, don't you think?
Right.
No. You stay here.
Okay.
Charlie Victor 4 to control. Come in. The shooting incident at 16 Ambery Mansions. Police officer Parker is dead. Suspect heading southwest in beige Jaguar XJ6. Registration number Delta Tango Juliet 275 Kilo. Now, that's Bill Hayden's car. He lives southwest, doesn't he? I'm going to pick him up there, taking the shortcuts. Over. Hayden, you murdering bastard! You're busted!
William Henry Hayden, it is the sentence of this court that you serve a life sentence with a recommendation that you should serve at least 30 years for these terrible crimes.
Morning.
Hello.
Listen, you got this terrible decision to make. Now, Eva, this terrific girl I've lined up for you, well, this old bike.
It's not an old bike. Well, it is an old bike, but it's a classic old bike, and I know it's dented. Gonna mend that, be as good as new when I finish with it.
Yeah, well, this girl is new. Tall, nubile, accommodating, and we're off duty.
Yeah, well, a man can't live on promises, you know.
Shall I run over the vital statistics again?
Yeah, go on.
Now, imagine a goddess. A vision of eternal grace. Hair like silk, beautiful eyes. Her mouth, did I say mouth? No, a poem.
What time?
about 30 minutes.
You're out.
Oh, you're going to love it, my son. You are going to snap. Have I ever let you down?
Yes, you have, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, never mind that one. Anyone we know?
No, but I wouldn't mind.
No. Not bad.
Now, listen, it's Bert. Listen, wait a minute. She's not that gymnast, is she? You know, the big one. I don't want that anymore. Right enough for that. Waiter.
No, I just said I thought we need some more.
Yeah, the horse has got to go 30 quid a week to keep. No, she's on me.
You paid last week.
Why didn't you pay?
Look, will you two stop arguing?
Well, you pay then. Well, that's settled then. She's going to pay. Teach you to keep your mouth shut.
Well, I think about that, yeah. Have you ridden a lot for a long time?
Not much, just recently.
Really? Does he ride?
No, he can't ride.
You...
What do you mean I can't?
Falls up. I've seen you before. Outside my place.
Yes, I followed you here. You are Ray Doyle, aren't you?
Who wants to know?
Yeah, he's Ray Doyle. I'm Bodie. Why don't you sit down?
I didn't want to disturb your dinner. And I'm not a girlfriend or anything. It's important.
Sit down. Well?
My name's Hayden. Jill Hayden. You arrested my father, William Hayden.
That Hayden. Goodbye.
Please.
It was a long time ago.
7 years, 5 months, and 2 days ago. If you've forgotten.
No, I remember very clearly. I remember it exactly. Goodbye.
Ray.
Listen, did you say something about a disco? We're going on somewhere else, aren't we? I remember exactly.
She ruined the whole evening.
She did. She just wanted to talk to you, that's all. What did her father do to you anyway, for God's sake?
Oh, not to me. Not me, mate.
Look, I don't know what this is about, but to hold a grudge...
He killed my partner. Sid Parker. He's a good copper and a good friend. And Bill Hayden stuck a bullet right through the middle of him. Now tell me, Bodie, how would you feel about that?
I don't know.
Sorry, mate.
That's okay. She's back.
What? Okay. You've got 2 minutes.
He's done more than 7 years. Well, usually after 7 years, you at least get a chance at parole.
Not cop killers.
That's the point. My father's done crooked things. Yes, he admits that. But he didn't kill Fitch. Or your friend. He stuck by that for years. 7 years. Now, all he asks is for you to go and see him. You've been hurt. Yes, I understand that. But doesn't it bother you that you might have got the wrong man? Doesn't it bother you at all?
Ray, old son, I think if we're going to get any peace at all, you'll have to go and see the man.
I was set up. Harry Scott. He had a score to settle. I was set up. I got a call.
Yeah, I heard about it all at your trial. You say you got a call to go over to Fitch's place, and when you arrived, Fitch was dead. And Sid Parker, too.
I didn't kill either of them.
I saw you drive away.
But of course. I knew it was a set-up, didn't I? All I wanted to do was to get away from there. It was a frame, a dirty frame.
The caretaker saw you standing on the fire escape with a gun in your hand. He saw you.
He was bought. Look, I've had plenty of time, years, to think about it. He had to be bought. And that means he's the weak link. Look, if I killed him, what did I do with the gun? I didn't have it when you grabbed me, did I? It wasn't in the car. So what did I do with it? Where did it go?
You ditched it.
But driving through the streets, I couldn't have had time to stop the car and bury it, you know that. And if I ditched it, why hasn't it ever been found? Yeah, I've heard about you. Joined some new outfit. You could help me if you wanted to. If justice is what you really care about. The caretaker, he had to be bought!
I haven't been back here since Sid... I haven't been back here for years.
7 years, 5 months, 2 days.
He did it. We've got the right man. Come on, let's hear the caretaker confirm it.
New man won't be here until Friday.
New man?
Yes. Were you friends of poor Mr. Gilbert's? He died. Didn't you know that? Well, he died of bronchitis. It was so sad because he was so near to retirement and so looking forward to it.
No, we didn't know about that.
We'll miss him. Poor Mr. Gilbert, he won't see that Cap Ferrat sunset now.
Cap Ferrat?
Yes. You're not friends of his, then?
No, we're just interested, you know.
Thought so. Because if you knew him well, you'd certainly know about his dream. To sit on the cliffs, overlooking Cap Ferrat, sip his brandy, and watch the sun go down.
An impossible dream.
Oh, no. He had the exact villa picked out and everything.
A villa?
Yes, it sounded wonderful. Splendid view of the sea.
I suppose his personal effects would still be in there, would they?
I think so, yes. He was a bachelor, you see. They're still trying to trace relatives. Poor Mr. Gilbert.
Cap Ferrat.
Poor Mr. Gilbert.
You've no right to rifle a man's apartment, but what you've come up with, fascinating. Particularly this slip of paper.
Taped to the underside of the drawer.
So obviously secret and important.
Just numbers, like a Swiss number account.
That certainly would seem so, Bodie, yes.
Well, sir?
From what you've told me, can you split this? Your original arrest was perfectly correct. Huh? Thanks. On circumstantial evidence, Hayden was guilty.
But?
Exactly. All right, let's just assume, mind, that Hayden is telling the truth. He didn't commit those murders. You hear the gunshot and run into the house. Up the stairs, into the apartment. You find Fitch and your partner Parker dead. You hear someone running down the fire escape. Look out and see a man. Bill Hayden?
I assumed so.
You assumed, but you couldn't swear it was Hayden.
I wasn't asked to at the time. Circumstances.
Now, that's what we keep coming back to, isn't it? The circumstances. Circumstantial. Before you went on duty, you were warned, preconditioned that Hayden was after Fitch. Then you saw his car parked nearby.
Yeah, and he took off like a bat out of hell right after the killings.
Well, that ties in with his story. He was panicked. He knew he'd been set up. What would you have done?
Well, yeah, I suppose I would have got out of there.
Well, that's what I mean. Hayden's story seems to have as much validity as yours. But I'm still backing your instincts. Okay. Just the same, suppose Hayden is telling the truth. Where are we? The real killer could have been hiding in that apartment. You didn't check the other rooms. The real killer could have been hiding there. It's possible. You take off after Hayden's car, heading southwest, while the real killer slips away in the opposite direction, on foot perhaps, across the parkland there, disposes of the gun. Oh, it's all theory, of course.
That Swiss number account is in theory?
If it is a number account, if there is any money in it, we'll check it for you.
Thank you, sir.
You're both of you off duty until...
Wednesday.
That's as long as you've got then, until Wednesday. Then I want you back here in this office, ready to tackle some real work. Yeah. Best of luck. And Doyle, I'll have a look at the official report, purely academic. But I still think you were right. Come in. Come in!
Can I tell him it's good news? Anything. Any kind of hope to hold on to.
You can tell him we're checking.
Oh, thank you.
Ah, all I said was checking.
Yeah, with a different hat on. You're now looking at the case to prove Hayden innocent.
No, I'm dispassionate. I'm going to stay dispassionate.
Yeah, well, where do you go dispassionately now, then?
Harry Scott. If anybody set Hayden up, and I'm not saying anybody did, it would have been him, Harry Scott.
I was 71 that hot summer. Few boys around watching television. I was upstairs trying to get cool. And Freddie rang the bell for me. That bell meant trouble. Hayden was in this bar, showing off his hairy chest, leaning on Fitch. I told him to get out. He did. And as he left, said something. Can't remember what it was. All I know is I had to make a stand.
Come back here! Do you hear me? Come back!
I mean, in front of my own boys, I had to make a stand. I took off after Hayden. Told him to lay off or else. Made a grab at him. Then suddenly, he produced a gun. Out of nowhere, I swear it. I had to back off. That was it. Never saw him again.
So Hayden had a gun?
Out of nowhere.
What kind of gun?
How do I know? What the kind that kills you? That's all I stayed to find out.
So he made you look small. And you decided to pay him back. Is that when you planned the setup, Scott?
Setup?
How much you pay the caretaker?
What caretaker?
You killed Fitch, didn't you? You killed him and stuck it on Hayden, and then my partner came in, you killed him as well.
Are you crazy? Kill Fitch? Why would I kill Fitch?
To stick it on Hayden.
You are crazy. And I don't have to listen to you. I'll cooperate all you want, but I don't have to listen to you. Please. I don't want any trouble.
You might not want any trouble, Scott, but that's no guarantee you're not going to get it. Is it?
Who was that?
CI5.
Cop?
Closest makes no difference.
What did he want?
Old days.
Eh?
When me and Hayden were eye to eye. They were bad days, but sometimes I miss them, Freddie. You're always close to death then, but at least you knew you were alive.
And what in particular?
That day Hayden came in here chasing after Fitch. Do you remember that day, Freddie?
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
He didn't do it.
It had to be him.
Look, I've seen Scott. I've talked to him. He didn't do it. He hasn't got the guts. He never did have.
Well, then who?
Well, your dad's still number one.
I don't believe that. Neither do you. What about the caretaker? How do you explain him? How do you explain the villa, the money? You can't bring a halt to it all now. You've got to go on. You have to.
Oh, for God's sake, just give me time to think, will you? I'm gonna get some air.
Do you mind?
It's a free country.
My father might disagree with you.
Yeah, your father.
I know what he was. That was a long time ago. You've seen him. He's an old man now, and every day older. Honestly think he regrets what he once did. The fire's gone out of him. And I'm afraid what more years will do to him. I'm afraid he's going to die in there.
Hey.
Sorry. I shouldn't have cried.
No, you've got every right to cry.
Now I must be strong. Somebody's got to be. Somebody on the outside who believes in him.
Yeah, well, maybe I believe in him.
Do you?
I don't know. I wish I did, just for your sake.
What about the man you work for?
Yeah, it's 50-50. 50% the flawless, immaculate police case to put Hayden away.
And the other 50?
Theories, plus one fact.
Yeah?
The number you found is a Swiss number account. But that's all we know. Who draws in the account? How much? How many payments? Well, if we could find that out.
Nobody would bother having a Swiss number account.
So the caretaker was in on it?
We don't know that.
We had a secret account, goddammit! I'm sorry.
You were just a witness, Doyle, not judge and jury.
Yeah, but I helped, didn't I? I helped put him there. I helped put away a man for a crime he didn't do.
Perhaps I was wrong, Doyle. Perhaps you are judge and jury. Perhaps you know better than British justice and the 8 centuries it's taken to get it as near perfect.
Near perfect?
Aye, that's as much as we can wish for in any day and age. Near perfect. Translated, that means as damn near perfect as we can make it. God and prevailing winds permitting. The gun. The gun is the crucial missing evidence. Hayden quite rightly asked you, what did he do with it? Well, perhaps he never had it. Perhaps it'll never be found. But if you forget Hayden and plump for another man, would he take it away and hide it? Would he calmly take it away?
Oh, he'd know I was nearby.
So, he would be panicked. Let's say he's on foot, running away with a murder weapon in his hand. He crosses open parkland. He has to get rid of that gun. The gun is the key, if it could be found.
Exercising?
No.
No. Whoever killed Fitch and Parker had to get rid of the gun.
Now, if, and I mean if your father was telling the truth, let's cover the place. Down the open space for miles.
And in the opposite direction to the one my father took. I've been thinking too. It's obvious.
No, it's not obvious. It's just probable. We'd better find the gun.
You're going to try, aren't you? You are going to try. Oh, Ray. They're searching for the gun. Not the route you took, but the route another man might have taken. They're out searching now.
Jill, my darling, to have brought them this far is what we hoped for from the very start.
At least now there's an element of doubt, even for Doyle. They still haven't found the gun.
They will. They have to.
No news.
Have you called them?
Come on. If there'd been any news, they'd have called me. Up you go. Help yourself to a drink.
I don't want to drink.
Well, that's a bit mean. While you're helping you could be helping me. I'll have a scotch.
Ray,
Yeah?
where are they searching?
The park.
Yeah, but exactly where?
Straight line, due north from Fitch's place.
Why a straight line?
Why not?
I went back again to that park today. I tried to imagine I was that man.
If there was a Batman. Go on.
I tried to imagine it at night. It would be different then. All shadows and trees.
Yeah, well.
I have a gun. Need to get rid of it. I wouldn't go directly north. That way I'd be too close to the main path, almost in clear view. No, I'd veer towards the left, towards the trees where it was dark. And then I'd see it. The water. The canal.
Yes?
Excuse me, sir, but the minister is here, on his way in to see you. I tried to delay him.
But she wasn't quick enough. Nice try. That will be all. But no interruptions now until I leave.
Yes, sir.
Slip up in protocol. But I'm prepared to overlook it. She has got awfully nice legs.
Has she?
George. Such dedication. No, you're absolutely right. Whenever I'm in your office, it means there's trouble. And there is. George, I seem to remember that you keep an awfully good malt scotch.
Of course.
It's the most civilized part of the building. No water, thank you. Oh, I hate to drink your scotch and bring down a heavy hand at one and the same time.
Heavy hand, sir? No, the heavy hand and the foam rubber glove.
I'll try. Yes, it makes it even worse when the scotch is so excellent. Doyle.
Doyle?
Doyle.
A good man. One of my best.
Yes, I've no doubt, George. But this business of stirring up old mud.
The Hayden case.
Thank you, George. I am rather pushed for time.
What about it?
Hayden was tried, George. Tried and convicted. The trial lasted 6 days, and it cost the taxpayer a lot of money. A number of responsible policemen gave evidence, including Doyle, and a learned judge listened to them. 3 learned judges heard the appeal. He was found guilty.
But he might not be.
Do you know that?
No.
Well, at least you're honest. Then on what basis is this?
Doyle has doubts.
Doyle? Raymond Doyle, ex-detective constable?
He's a good man. He's my man. I back my men to the hilt.
Even if they're wrong?
Until they're proved wrong.
Is there anything to all this?
Possibly.
When will you know? You have 2 days, George. I'll keep them off your back for 2 days. After that, well, there'll be questions asked.
This is a question of justice. Justice is within CI5's brief. It should be everyone's concern, even ministers of the Crown.
You used to regularly beat me at tennis, too.
Over here!
They found it! They have found it! 38 special, 6 shot. 3 empty chambers, gotta be the murder weapon.
Where did they find it?
In the river under the trees.
She was right.
Hey?
Nothing.
You're pleased with yourself, aren't you? Yeah, of course you are. Making a bloody Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, all right. Well, don't hang about. Come on, put your foot down.
All right.
Watson.
Right, you want me to, don't you?
No. I'm going to tell him myself. This one's mine.
Hey, listen. If a gratitude overrunneth, save some for me.
Yep, day after tomorrow. Yes, I promise. Right. Ray, I didn't hear you ring.
I didn't ring. If you listen carefully, you might just hear bells ringing somewhere.
They found it.
Yeah, they found it.
No telling how long it's been in the water.
7 years.
Possibly. The gun was in good condition. Still bears traces of oil. And that would have preserved it.
What about ballistics?
Positive. That's a 38 police special. It's the gun that killed Fitch and Parker.
It's good enough for me.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hayden couldn't have planted that gun. He was away in his car. He wouldn't have had time.
So Cowley's theory holds up. Another man.
Yeah.
Then it has to be Harry Scott.
Nah. Well, maybe. Look, he never had the guts. See, there must have been a dozen people wanting to put Hayden away.
And one of them killed your mate.
Yeah.
But it's not conclusive, Doyle.
Yeah, well, it certainly changes things, doesn't it? It changes things for me. Now, I know I might not be able to get a retrial, but I can start the ball rolling. File a new statement.
Saying what? The facts as you saw them that night haven't changed.
Saying I could have been wrong. Now, look, at the trial, I knew Hayden had done it. That must have coloured all my evidence.
No, I've read the transcript. Your evidence, as I would expect of you, is detailed, correct, and scrupulously fair. Nevertheless, I can't stop you setting that ball rolling, but have you thought of the implications, Doyle?
What is it?
You won't only be saying that you could have been wrong, but that your colleagues were wrong, too. Good, solid coppers like your partner, Sid Parker.
I still want to make that statement, sir.
Very well. Do you want me to draft it out?
Yeah, if you would, sir. Yeah.
Be ready this evening.
Thank you.
Well, what have you done?
Set a ball rolling. Brody, what was all that about?
Thank God. I can hardly believe it.
This time tomorrow, my statement will be official. I can't promise anything, though, Jill.
You've done enough. More than enough, Ray. Hope. I can give him hope now.
Thank God!
It'll take time. You understand that? Maybe a year before we get even near a retrial. But it will happen. It has to. There'll be questions in the house, and they're not going to like admitting they were wrong. But with the arresting policeman on our side...
It wouldn't have happened without you, Jill.
I just want to get you out of here.
You haven't read it?
Oh, I trust you, sir.
You know this is a bombshell you're handing me.
Yeah. But you'll see it gets through the proper channels, won't you, sir? Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
I have the minister on too, sir.
I'll put him through.
George, did he go through with it?
Yes?
Damn. Well, I'll better send it over by messenger then.
No, tomorrow will be soon enough. I think I'll hold on to it until tomorrow.
Well, you think he may change his mind?
Oh, no chance of that. But I think I'll hold on to it for a wee while.
Oh, very well. Good night, George.
Good night. Get on to central filing. I want every piece of paper on the Hayden case, every word written about it, right up to date.
Right. Leave about 7:30. Get there before 9. Great way to spend the last day of leave, eh? Mind you, not that we've had much leave with you chasing about after this Hayden fella.
Yes, I never knew you were such an outdoor type. I mean, fishing and boating, they don't exactly go together, do they? Do you know what I mean?
That's very wounding. I'm a deeply sensitive man with an enduring interest in countryside. Besides, there's a pub down the road with 2 beautiful barmaids.
Oh, that kind of fishing.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Right, pick up about 7:30 then.
Yeah.
Well, listen, bring a coat. Or better still, a blanket. Not exactly a heat wave. See you, son.
Yeah.
Not exactly a heat wave.
Hayden was in this bar, showing off his hairy chest, leaning on Fitch. I told him to get out. I mean, in front of my own boys, I had to make a stand. I took off after Hayden. I was feeling mad, I can tell you. Told him to lay off or else. Made a grab at him. Then suddenly, he produced a gun. Out of nowhere, I swear it. I took off after Hayden. Told him to lay off or else. Made a grab at him. Then suddenly, he produced a gun. Out of nowhere, I swear it.
Yes, sir?
Dr. Davis, call him. Ask him to stand by for an immediate autopsy.
He'll be asleep by now, sir.
Call him!
Yes, sir.
Also the Home Office. Get the duty man over here right away.
Yes, sir.
Tell him to bring an exhumation order with him.
No, thanks anyway. I'll take it on from there.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh, hello. Hello. Come on, move it.
Listen, phoned that pub last night. Booked a couple of rooms, double beds, barmaids live on the premises.
We're not going.
Eh?
We're not going fishing.
Where are we going?
Glen Street. Come on.
A car.
Yeah, what? Yeah, Hayden's car. The one he was driving that night. It's been through half a dozen hands since then. Could get lucky.
Good day, gentlemen.
Delta Tango Juliet, 275 kilo.
Interested in this one, are you? Yes, I could see that. Straight past the Merc, past the BMW, and homed in on this one. Obviously no bargain when you see one. It's just what you're looking for, right?
Exactly what I'm looking for.
Yes. The mileage is correct, of course. It has had several owners, but all of them...
No ladies who never exceed 30, eh?
Let's have a look, shall we?
Yes, certainly. The engine's very clean, spotless.
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 Yes, well, have a look round. Take your time. Don't let me sway you.
You're going to tell me now, aren't you?
Summer of 1971, there was a freak heat wave, right? Everybody was in shirt sleeves, the police, and Hayden. Now, Scott said Hayden paid a visit to his pub, right? And he said he was showing off his hairy chest.
Well, that would mean he must have been wearing a shirt open to the waist. Got it? Well, if he produced a gun from nowhere, and I quote, a gun from nowhere...
It's got to be in the car, then.
It's got to be in the car. Now, if he produces the gun from nowhere, then maybe the same night he can put the gun straight back into nowhere.
Yeah,
got it?
you're telling me that you turn the car over?
Yeah, but only the usual places.
What about the unusual places?
Well, that's what we're here for, mate.
Right. Okay, I'm Hayden, and you're Mr. Scott. Okay, let's try.
Certainly, sir. Just get the keys.
Okay. Try that. What you got now?
Lighter.
No, I've tried the gear lever. That's the ashtray.
Yes, Doctor. Yes. Yes, I've got the report here. Yes, I'll be attending to it personally right now. I'm sorry again for dragging you out of bed last night. Right. Bye.
Right here. You try these switches?
Yep, all of them. Try underneath the switches.
Okay, put it on. Right. Don't know how it came out, but it did.
The keys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're impounding this car.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. It's a setup. It's always a setup. Me as the pigeon.
Well, at least you found out in time.
That's it. You did well. Anytime. Anytime at all.
Good morning. You're obliged to say nothing at this time, but you are a material witness.
To what? Public nuisance?
Ah, great minds think alike.
The gun was a plant. She planted it.
I imagine so, but you interrupted me. Public nuisance? No, I think not. You see, Miss Hayden, I began where you began, with Gilbert, the caretaker. Plant the first doubt there, and you knew Doyle would be sure to follow. Any man would. It worked, because the caretaker was conveniently dead. Very conveniently. An attack of bronchitis? No.
What do you mean?
I had his body exhumed last night and an autopsy carried out. He died of suffocation. Probably a pillow pressed over his face. He was old and frail. A woman could easily have done it.
No.
It will take some proving, circumstantial. But the police have done that before. Someone should tell her father, don't you think?
Sit down.
Well, special news, isn't it? Good news? Isn't it? As soon as they told me you were coming, I knew. That statement of yours, it stirred them up, eh? Well, tell me, when am I going to get out of here?
Conspiracy with your daughter. Accessory to the caretaker's murder. Add that to the 30 years you've already got. And I think they'll just decide to throw away the key.
I don't think you'll ever get out of here, Hayden.